With the theme of starting a new Minecraft world, I'm going to be talking about how to start fresh. Now, I'm doing this without a script, and I'm raw dogging this whole thing. Hopefully it's not that bad. I feel like before, when I was reading off a script, it was very robotic, kind of. I think I need to get better at reading off a script. But I'm doing this without a script this time, so hopefully it's not that bad. One of the first steps in starting fresh is to set new goals. Now, you've probably already have goals, but you should make sure that they're within SMART goals, which is a rubric to follow to make sure that your goals are obtainable. So S is for specific. You need to clearly define your goal. So saying that you want to lose weight isn't clearly defined. How much you want to weigh, what are the end goals? You want to weigh a certain amount, where you are now, and how much you have to lose to get there. The M is measurable. You need an amount. So how much do you want to lose? You also have to make it realistic, right? If you want to lose 50 pounds, right? You can't just say, I want to lose 50 pounds. You have to make it achievable, like realistic. Like you can lose 50 pounds, but doing it 5 pounds at a time is more realistic. The R of it, relevant. Broader purpose. You want to lose weight. Why do you want to lose weight? To get healthier. The T, time bound. There's a deadline. Okay? You know you want to lose 50 pounds. That's a lot. Break it down. 5 pounds, even a pound. Some people need smaller goals like that. A pound, 5 pounds in a certain obtainable deadline. 5 pounds, 10 weeks. That's half a pound every week. That is obtainable. For some people. Maybe not for all people. If you're not someone who thinks that's attainable, you adjust to what you think you can do. You have to kind of know the person you are, which is kind of hard. Because some of us think we can do more than we can, which is problematic, but stick to a goal that you know you can do, but it's still challenging. If you do it too fast, then make it harder next time, right? This segues into like establishing a routine, build those habits, right? So if your goal is to lose weight, obviously start small, right? 5 pounds. How are you going to lose weight? How do you lose weight in general? Exercise, calorie deficit, right? You need to build those habits into your routine. Start small things daily, or larger things fewer times a week. So in the context of losing weight, workout. If you're not working out at all, I think it is unrealistic to be like, well, I should work out every day. Start once a week, twice a week, build up that habit, and then it becomes a daily thing. Even if it shouldn't be a daily thing, because I'm pretty sure you're supposed to have a rest day when you work out, so not a daily thing, but still, right? I feel like when they talk about weight loss, right, they're like, start 10 minutes daily walk. That's not happening. It's not happening, because you're not going outside every day. I think something that irritated me when you look up how to start a habit, there was like daily stuff. Yes, doing stuff daily is probably the goal, but it doesn't start that way, because if you're not doing stuff at all, why would you do it every day? You're not working out at all. So you're not going to work out every day. You're not going to make the time to do that every day. You're going to do it a few times a week. And then you're going to do it more, right? Like you're going to build it to be daily eventually. Start with something small that is also obtainable within what you do already. One of the ways you can also do that, habit stacking, which is when you have a new goal or a new habit with an old one. So you might brush your teeth every day. Maybe you don't. Listen. Some people struggle a lot, so maybe you don't brush your teeth every day. But if you do, if you brush your teeth every day, and one of the goals you have is to start flossing, you're already in there, brushing your teeth. Floss when you are in there. Obviously, if you don't floss every day, it's going to be hard to start flossing every day. If you floss once a month, that's going to be difficult. But if you're already doing something every day, having a new habit that you also do every day is easier. Because now you associate flossing with brushing your teeth. Another thing is about having to do things at a consistent time, in a consistent place, right? You're brushing your teeth in the bathroom, probably around the same time, right? You wake up around the same time, go to bed around the same time. So having an old habit that you already do consistently and adding a new habit onto it is going to make it easier because you already brush your teeth every day. So just adding flossing, even if it's not every day, right? I mean, you should floss every day, right? You should floss every day, but there's a lot of things you should do, but yeah. It's harder to do things in a harsher environment, right? You need a calm environment to start new things. Usually, if you're a very anxious person, you don't want to start things when you're anxious, right? It's going to point it. So if you're in a calm environment or an environment that you've already established an old habit, it's going to be easier to start that new habit, right? You're already comfortable brushing your teeth every day, so starting flossing is not going to be that bad. You're already going to be in there. I think the most important thing about building habits and establishing a routine is tracking the progress. So tracking the habit progress, right? You start with working out twice a week and then you build up to 3 times, 4 times daily, right? Like you can track that. And obviously I would recommend journaling because I have multiple videos on that. So, but I also think rewarding yourself for achieving just the small habit goals, right? If you increase a habit from twice a week to 3 times a week, that is progress that should be rewarded. There's cats outside the door, and it's making me mad. He's right outside the door. What do I do? What do I do? Another key step in starting fresh is gratitude. It's important to keep a positive mindset, and having things you're grateful for can reinforce that positive mindset. You can literally be grateful for anything. I know that usually it's like, I'm grateful for family and friends. You don't have to be grateful for family and friends. Some of y'all got bad friends. I don't know what to say to that. But you can be grateful for small things, right? I'm grateful that I have hot water. I'm grateful that I have a roof over my head. Food, like, it could be anything. Like, grateful that I have a working pen, just anything. It just reinforces positive mindset. Speaking of mindset, you need a growth mindset. You're stuck with your fixed mindset that things are the way they are, right? Things don't change. You don't change. Bad way to live, right? You're scared of making mistakes because you're scared of failure. You're scared of not being the best at everything. You give up easy because you don't want to have to go through the challenge of learning things, right? Or the challenge of doing new things in general. That is a very negative mindset to have. Adapt a growth mindset, right? Embrace challenges. They're learning opportunities. You need to continue to learn to grow as a person. Learn from criticism. Don't think that people who criticize you are always mean-spirited. Learn from criticism. Keep trying at things, even if they don't work. Even if a setback occurs, you need resilience and perseverance. Hard work and practice is needed to improve skills, to improve habits. I know you have a desire to learn, even if you don't feel like you have a desire to learn, right? You think about learning, you think about academics. Maybe you weren't good in school, and therefore you're like, no, I hate learning because that means mathematics or whatever. You learn by doing stuff, interacting with the world, interacting with others. You learn from others, usually what not to do, right? You see someone do something stupid, you're like, I learned not to do that stupid thing. That's learning too. Going out and doing new things, right? New experiences. Definitely don't have a whole video about that too. You learn from new experiences, right? Trying new food. Now you know more about what food you like. That is learning stuff about yourself. That's not in school. Like, associating just learning with academics is kind of bad to have. Learning is more than academics. You learn probably almost every day, depending on what you do, right? You learn about food you like and don't like, places you like to be and don't like to be. You expand that by trying new things. Speaking of places you like to be, you probably like to be in your room. And I know that your room is not clean. So what you're going to do is you're going to declutter your space. You're going to declutter your room. You're going to clean your room, which sucks probably because no one likes cleaning their room. This is where you can work on your SMART goals. You want to clean your room? That's a big goal. You start small with a realistic, time-bound goal. You want to clean a drawer by tonight. You want to clean this part of your room, a corner of your room, by the end of the week. Make those SMART goals to declutter your space. There is a correlation between a clean space and a good mental well-being. You feel more productive in a space that is clean and you know where things are. Speaking of having good mental health, you need to make peace with the past. You need to have self-compassion and forgiveness for things you've done, things you regret, maybe things people have done to you. You need to recognize that the past cannot be changed. So to come to terms with the things that have happened is going to give you a positive mindset. You need to plan for the future. Focus on what you can control. You can control how clean your space is, right? Declutter your space. You can control your physical well-being. You can work on losing weight, eating healthier, right? These are things you can do. You can control how you feel, even if it doesn't feel like it, right? You can do little things that make you feel better, but you need to focus on the things you control. And one of those things is challenging those negative thoughts that come up. You're not just going to get a growth mindset overnight, but you need to challenge those thoughts when they come up. I'm not good enough. Who determined that? Who set those boundaries? I'm not going to be good at this thing. How do you know that? You don't do something because you might be bad at it, because there's other people who are better at it. So you automatically think you're not going to be good at it. Or you try something once and you're bad at it, so therefore you're going to continue to be bad at it. Not very correct mindset to have. You know that you have improved in the past. You are not the same person that you were 10 years ago in middle school or in high school, right? You're a different person. You have more skills in certain areas. You've built those skills up by consistent practice. You know that you are capable of being good at things. My last point in this is for you to make a visual representation of what you want, the goals you want to set. You can do this by making a vision board of what you aspire to be, or a list of goals, using those SMART goals and having a way to visually track them. Obviously, losing weight can be visually tracked by taking pictures, progress pictures, but stuff like flossing your teeth, I would hope that, flossing your teeth every day, there would be a physical change that you would notice. I don't think taking pictures of your teeth every day would be a visual representation of that. So making a checklist, right? Oh, I flossed my teeth today. I can check something off. Flossing your teeth tomorrow, right? Or having weekly goals. I flossed my teeth 4 times this week, right? Building that up that way, but something that you can visually see. I know there's a thing with you release dopamine when you check things off. Obviously, I would encourage you to have a journal, but you can do it in other ways. A vision board, just a list. But I think having that visual representation of the way you've changed is important in knowing how far you've come.